Hello everyone and welcome to another random video on the internet. Today we are doing a remix of the old videos I used to make using this randomizer wheel to build the strongest One Punch Man characters. But this specific video was inspired by the dinosaur community of all things. If you are unaware, recently a channel called Goji Center, along with Goji Guy and others, sparked a hybrid war in their communities, with the goal being to build the ultimate hybrid dinosaur, the strongest possible combination of animals poured into one creature to be the strongest life form, perfect cell style. It's really fun, and I thought, hey, why don't I do something similar with One Punch Man? So today we shall be combining 10 characters into one to create a monstrosity unlike any other. Seriously, you will want to stick around, this thing is busted. But there are a few rules I followed, so let's hear them out before zeroing in on the gene pool chosen. Firstly, this isn't a Dragon Ball type fusion, that's not how this kind of hybrid creation works, they won't be multiplying their powers together. What happens here is that we take one base genome, one character as a base, and then add traits, skills, and abilities from other characters to boost this one. For example, if I take Saitama as a base and add Cosmic Goro to him, it doesn't multiply or add their powers together, it just gives Saitama Goro's abilities and moveset, which is still an insane buff to his overall fighting prowess. But the second rule I followed is no god tier characters. Otherwise, the list is just dominated by Saitama as a base and then God Vessels as bonuses. It's kinda boring. So instead, I'm limiting the gene pool to only include characters of Boros caliber and lower. Speaking of which, getting to the base of our hybrid now, we have Boros. What is there to say here? He's insanely strong, insanely fast, has immense regeneration, insane energy reserves, insane energy sensing capabilities, and is overall a very solid base for our hybrid. Coming from a harsh planet, he should have all sorts of resistances to temperature, to space, all that good stuff. He should also generally be immune to being off-guarded, as he has a tough exoskeleton shell to protect him at all times, and he can also shoot energy blasts and power up immensely using meteoric burst, which, as you will see when combined with other abilities, becomes an insane form. Next up, the second character I have in mind for this is Final Form Monster Goro. He brings to the table a vast array of martial arts, durability negating organ targeting Fajin, regeneration of his own, immense adaptability, reactive evolution, and so much more. Several of his martial arts directly power him up too, like the Awakening Breath, Heart Release Fist, Orangora Skyripping Fist, Dragon Slayer Fist, and so on. With these combined, he went from trading direct blows with Bang hitting him in the face and not dealing that much damage, to straight up one-shotting him with a slight graze. Imagine Boros using all of these martial arts to boost his already beyond living being limitations, broken physical stats, and stacking on top of that top-tier hand-to-hand combat skills, with the ability to attack internal organs and redirect attacks, as well as get stronger during combat, adapt to opponents' moves, and steal their techniques. This is already an insanely busted character we have on our hands, and we just covered 2 of our picks. Combine that with our third character, Tatsumaki, and now this behemoth has Esper powers too, including telekinesis, the ability to destroy things on a cellular level, the ability to twist opponents' bodies into bloody mist, the ability to target their insides with extreme precision, squeezing their heart into oblivion without even having to get close. Combine that with shields, barriers, substitution jutsu of all things, effortless flight without having to propel themselves with energy or wings, and the ability to manipulate the terrain of the battle as they see fit. Heck, perhaps it would be possible to combine the Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist with telekinesis to be able to redirect attacks without even having to touch them. Also take into account that Tatsumaki's biggest weakness, fatigue and being off-guarded, is entirely irrelevant to our hybrid since he can regenerate and has some enormous energy reserves. Totally ridiculous. And we are just on our third character. But okay, so far I've just spammed characters that are already overpowered by themselves and are basically the top 3 strongest characters in the verse aside from the people related to God and Saitama himself. So now let's get more creative. Coming up as our fourth entry is Metal Bat, and his ability to pump up will be invaluable here, as any time our hybrid takes damage now, he gets stronger. Garo already has the ability to grow stronger via adaptive evolution, but usually it's not instant and it takes a little bit of time. With Metalbat, our hybrid gets hurt, it gets stronger immediately, and then heals the damage! It's an infinite exploit loop! Get hurt, get stronger, heal, rinse and repeat. It's absolutely broken as a combo. This is basically perfect Cell. He receives instant Zenkais anytime he takes damage. But all of this healing is going to be taxing even on someone of Boros caliber. After all, he does have to expend energy to heal, and despite being vast as an ocean, his supplies aren't limitless. This is where our 5th contributor, Zombie Man, comes in. With passive regeneration that heals him even from having his entire body disintegrated without costing any stamina. Now our hybrid has natural, passive regeneration and doesn't have to expend a drop of energy to heal, as long as he doesn't mind the process being slower than Boros' regeneration. And for times when our hybrid warrior does need instant regeneration, he can always fall back on Boros' healing factor. He just doesn't have to rely on it all the time. Now, our character is basically already unkillable. You'd need to be a god to damage him in the first place through all the barriers, defensive martial arts, the sheer durability, and even if you manage that, our monster now has 3 forms of regeneration, all incredibly potent. But it's still possible to kill it. A serious punch from Saitama would still do him in. So now let's make our character completely immortal with Phoenix Man's resurrection. Now anytime our character dies, he comes back stronger than ever. He could literally be erased from existence, vaporized. But Zombie Man already came back from that, and now with Phoenix Man's resurrection amping that already insane vitality to near limitless levels, our hybrid comes back stronger than ever, super perfect Cell style, except even more difficult to get rid of. So now we have a functionally immortal warrior with all these broken abilities. What could make it even deadlier? Well, how about making it so that we don't only have one, but instead have trillions? That's right. Courtesy of Black S, our hybrid is now a one-man army with trillions of copies of himself jumping the enemy all at once. A trillion master martial artists. A trillion psychic attacks. A trillion collapsing star roaring cannons amped up by martial arts, by telekinesis, by fighting spirit and Zenkai boosts. Bruh! Is that not enough for you? Let's add Vaccine Man or Homeless Emperor into the mix, doesn't matter which one. Our hybrid now has a bottomless supply of energy given to him by God. Boros with unlimited energy. This means no stamina drain on Meteoric Burst, since he now has infinite energy to channel, as well as several healing powers stacked on top of his own. Our hybrid is never running out of stamina, ever, since Meteoric Burst can keep running as long as Boros has energy, and he has infinite energy. On top of that, he can now cloud out the sky with insane numbers of bombs and explosions. But is there anything else we could do to make this thing even more busted? So far, we've only used 8 characters when we can have 10. So my next pick is a very underrated but dangerous one. Rafflesidon. Now you may be wondering, who even is this guy? Why would you add him here? Well, the important thing about him is he emits hypnotic gas from his body that puts his opponents to sleep. Imagine being surrounded by trillions of warriors, all of whom emit sleeping gas that makes you dizzy and unable to fight. Now you can't even get close to our hybrid without being severely nerfed. So what we've done so far is boost Boros to insane levels while actively nerfing our opponent. And last but not least, the final pick for my hybrid is the Monster King, Orochi, who contributes even more vitality to the mix, can morph his body in all sorts of ways, creating extra appendages to use the water stream and so on, and can detach parts of himself to operate separately from the whole. But most of all, the reason he is here is that he can absorb other creatures and gain their powers. We just gave our hybrid Majin Buu absorption! Even if somehow, someway, our creature is up against someone they just cannot beat, they can just absorb them. Our hybrid is busted. So to recap, we have Boros amped up by all of the martial arts and adaptability of Garo, amped up by Tatsumaki's psychic prowess, amped up by Metalbat's fighting spirit, amped up by Zombie Man's insane vitality and degeneration, amped up by Phoenix Man's literal immortality, amped up by limitless energy supplies, emitting sleeping gas to nerf his opponents, and with the ability to absorb his opponents and make himself stronger. And there's dozens of trillions of this guy. And if worst comes to worst, all of them can merge into one ultimate life form unlike anything this world has ever seen, creating their own version of Platinum Boros, possibly amping his power by trillions of times! So now we have one single Boros, who is trillions of times stronger than usual, amped by a couple more one-shot tiers by Garo's martial arts, with immortality, limitless energy, telekinesis, Zenkai boosts, reactive evolution, nerfing his opponent, absorbing his opponent. It's redonkulous. So now, with all that established, let me know in the comments how well you think this hybrid does against Cosmic Garo, against Void, against Blast, even against Saitama. How far does this monstrosity make it into the god tiers of One Punch Man? A Boros who is dozens of trillions of times stronger than usual, with all of these insane hacks and abilities stacked on top. Basically immortal, and growing stronger rapidly. Does he beat everybody? Or are there still characters who would just be too much? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what I may have missed. Maybe there's someone else I should have included in the gene pool. What hybrid could you create? I'm interested to hear that. And, with nothing else to say, I wish you a good rest of the day. Goodbye.